Hi everyone, this is your members only bonus video for the Lake Somerville episode. In case you have not watched it yet, you need to go back to our YouTube channel in the archives and watch the episode titled Lake Somerville. It's located just north of Brenham, Texas, which is just a little bit west of the Bryan College Station area. This was our first visit to the lake, so let me share a little information for you in case you're planning a trip here. First of all, the lake is about 11,500 acres, so it's a pretty good-sized lake, but it's a shallow lake. The deepest water we saw anywhere on the lake in a full day's fishing is about 24, 25 feet, something like that. So you're not going to find any deep water ledges or anything like that. The fish live shallow year-round at Lake Somerville. Now, there are lots of access points around the lake, lots of boat ramps. Now, right here behind me is the Lake Somerville Marina. If you want to book a guide trip here on the lake, there are two good guides that operate out of that marina. Wayne Vinton and Bobby Dean are two excellent guides. They've guided here for years. They know exactly what they're doing, and I'll tell you, it's worth booking a guide trip with them just so they can put you on some of these man-made brush piles that they've sunk around the lake. Now, you might be able to luck onto a couple of those just by driving around and looking at your sonar, but the safe thing is just to book a guide trip. They can show you the crappie fishing, largemouth bass fishing, white bass fishing, catfishing, and hybrid striper fishing. Now, pardon these waves a minute. We had a guy just run full blast right around us here, so you know, guys could just shut down and idle just for a second, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, we caught good-sized crappie, and I'm talking about good slab keeper-sized crappie out of some of those brush piles in 12 or 13 feet of water. We also caught 2 or 3 good largemouth bass. I actually caught 4 largemouth bass, but 2 of them were really good quality fish. One was about a 4.5 pounder, something like that, that we caught on camera. The other one was a good solid 6 or 7 pounder that we lost, and I'll show you just a couple of quick shots of those fish, but we actually didn't get that bigger one in the boat, but we did get a good shot of it. Caught those on deep diving crankbaits, Strike King Series 5 crankbait, fishing it off of the many rock ledges around the edges of the lake, and you can find those pretty easily if you're coming here. At one point today, I did catch 50 white bass on 50 drops. There are just tons of white bass in the lake. Again, they don't live deep. These fish were in 12 to 15 feet of water, catching them on a slab and a jigging spoon, and literally got tired of catching them, and 50 consecutive drops below the boat, I caught a white bass. So caught tons of white bass. There are lots of catfish in the lake, and there are actually a lot of folks that fish for them on the lake. We saw several locals catching one channel catfish after the next, and there are some big hybrid stripers in the lake. So it's just got a wide variety of fish. The levels do fluctuate on this lake. I'm not sure who controls it, but Dow Chemical buys a lot of the water, and they've got the same problem here that they do on the Brazos chain of lakes. Mismanagement by the Brazos River Authority has caused Whitney and Granbury and Possum Kingdom to be low for several years now, and they just keep selling that water downstream, even in the worst drought of our lifetime. So that's another story, but that's terrible mismanagement, in my opinion, by the Brazos River Authority, and they're doing the same thing at this lake. So you need to check the lake levels before you come to see if there's a good boat ramp still in the water. It's a good lake, our first time here. I'm very impressed by the fishery, and again, book Wayne Vinton or Bobby Dean for a guide trip, and they can share some of their vast knowledge of Lake Somerville with you if you'd like to book a trip here. We'll see you on next week's episode of your Southwest Outdoors Report.